Let's begin in Zamfara, where a federal high court sitting in Gusau earlier today nullified the governorship primary of the People's Democratic Party that produced Mr Lawal as the governorship candidate of the party in the state. Justice Aminu Bappa also ruled that the PDP will not field any candidate for the 2023 governorship election in the state. This is the second time that the court will nullify PDP governorship primary in Zamfara. The court had in September nullified the previous primary that elected Mr Lawal following a suit filed before the court by Ibrahim Shehu and two other aspirants challenging the credibility of the primary. The court ordered a rerun, but Mr Lawal emerged winner at the rerun conducted in September.
The court selected today for judgment, and judgment has been delivered in favor of the plaintiffs. The court held that the first defendant, that is the People's Democratic Party, did not comply with the mandatory provision of the Electoral Act, requiring them to give notice to INEC at least 21 days before the conduct of any convention for that party. That was what the court said. At least all our prayers have been granted. This is a victory for democracy. At least lawyers should be, restrained from filing any frivolous matters that they know that they cannot succeed in court, so that at least our judges will be relieved of all the stress they have been facing in dealing with election matters.
And away from Zamfara State, Rivers State government remains committed to infrastructure and human capital development. This assurance from the State Ministry of Information as political activities intensify ahead of the 2023 general election. And senior reporter Ochokoro has details.
It's Chris Finebone's maiden press conference since he assumed office as Commissioner for Information and Communications last week. He speaks for the Rivers State government, which has less than 7 months left before a new administration is inaugurated. Expectedly, the political atmosphere in Rivers State is already heated up due to the forthcoming election. The PDP-led state government is fighting opposition from some of its own party leaders, while also doing its best to outshine other political parties. But in spite of this, the government says it will continue to deliver the dividends of democracy until the last day.
In the coming days, more specifically from the 14th instance, the state government will spend the next 17 days commissioning further landmark projects, which include the Dr. Peter Odele Cancer and Cardiovascular Diseases Diagnostic and Treatment Center, Nabo Graham Douglas Campus, Nigerian Law School, Port Harcourt, amongst several other landmark projects. The detailed commissioning program will soon be announced.
The government also defended some of its decisions, which some persons consider to be a witch hunt of perceived political enemies. Some of these controversial moves include the derecognition of Celestine Omehia as former governor and the retrieval of property from another former allied governor, Nyesom Wike.
Recently, there were attempts by some persons to deploy disinformation and misinformation to tarnish the image of the governor before Nigerians. It is important to state that if a friend decides to turn an enemy, he or she has voluntarily relinquished all privileges friendship brings. You cannot call off your friendship and still expect the largesse that arises out of that friendship to still be available to you. Who does that?
The commissioner said plans are already being made to ensure a smooth handover of all government ministries, departments, and agencies to the next administration. Uche Okoro, TVC News, Port Harcourt.